Well, guys, this is it. We finally have a good Sonic TV show. I am very proud to announce that my favorite Blue Blur has an actual good TV show, and I'm very excited. Sonic Boom, the TV show on Cartoon Network, was easily very funny and very laughable. It was very funny. It was very good. I liked it. It was very entertaining. Now let's get to Sonic X. Okay, so now we're on my first review Wednesday, so let's get straight into basically Sonic X. But before I get to Sonic X, let's just take a brief look back at all the other Sonic TV shows there were. There was Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog. Like, it was too childish. It really didn't take anything seriously. It was pretty annoying. It wasn't really that great. It's basically a fun TV show if you're 4. But other than that, you're probably going to just get a headache by the show. And basically, we haven't really had a decent Sonic cartoon. So, when people were seeing Sonic X, maybe this was it. I mean, it looked like it had everything. Decent animation. It just looked pretty good. Let's see what went wrong. So to this show's credit, surprisingly, they have a really catchy theme song. I mean, I know it's been turned into Meme Central now, but basically the theme song's pretty nice. It's very catchy and enjoyable and nice animation. And surprisingly, they only show Sonic and his friends in his theme song. Yeah, if you guys are wondering why it's such a big shocker that they only show Sonic in this theme song, yeah, you're gonna find out. So now let's get into the plot. So basically it starts off with Sonic doing his usual Sonic thing, trying to stop Dr. Eggman from, I guess, taking over the world. And he has the bunny, I've honestly forgot her name, Cream and Cheese, yeah, whatever. He has Cream and Cheese locked up, so Sonic rushes to the rescue and gets in there, but somehow Dr. Eggman has all the Chaos Emeralds, and then what this does is that it causes Chaos Control and sends Sonic and his friends into the human world, which proves to be the show's biggest mistake. But we will get to that later. So then Sonic basically just outruns basically everyone on this S team. Basically their whole agenda is that they're stopping people from speeding on the highway, even though they are speeding on the highway at insane speeds. It doesn't matter, I guess. It's kids show. So Sonic outruns them and lands in a swimming pool, and he can't get out. I mean, I'm not that big of a Sonic expert. I mean, I've played all of the games. Heck, I might even be a Sonic expert, but I am 100% sure in the game Sonic could easily just jump out. Heck, isn't there a ladder in there? If there's not a ladder, that's a huge safety hazard, I guess. But anyways, he gets saved by this boy named Chris Thorndyke, and if you think he's annoying, well, get used to them. You wanna know why? Cause he's the main protagonist of this cartoon. You would think a show called Sonic X, Sonic would be the main star, but nah, we gotta suffer this brat from the entire series. I would be like, you know what, it's okay. I mean, hey, he's just a character. I mean, hey, he's probably gonna be good, right? Wrong. You wanna know why? Cause he whines about every single thing in the show. He just non-stop whines. In fact, let's get into all the characters. Basically, these are stereotypicals. We have the butler, who is pretty funny unintentionally because of how stereotypical racist Asian he is. And we have the grandpa, who, yeah, I don't really have a problem with. We have the stereotypical maid. For some reason, they play Mexican music every time she's around, as if we can't get the memo that she's Mexican, even though it's pretty obvious she has a Mexican accent. And basically, every other character on here is so annoying. It just gets in the way of actually screen time with Sonic and his friends. And that's actually kind of a shame. You wanna know why? Because Sonic and his friends, they get them exactly right. Sonic is the cocky but still heroic hedgehog. Tails looks up to Sonic and is very optimistic. Knuckles is the tough guy. Rouge is the greedy, sexy bat lady. We have Cream and Cheese, who's the adorable people. We have Amy, who's the stalker of Sonic. We even Big the cat, who is dumb. We have all these Sonic characters who are exactly as they're represented in the games. Even Team Chaotix are represented correctly. If we had a show of just these people interacting and facing obstacles, this would have been gold. I would have loved this show because they act so much like they do in the games. It's actually a pretty good achievement. And the voice actors are very good too. But nah, we gotta sub with these humans for the entire running time, and making them literally the main focus of the show, even though the show is called Sonic X. Come on! So now let's get into season 1 of Sonic X. So it starts out with Sonic and annoying Thorndyke basically just chilling until Sonic sees cream and cheese on the news. So he rescues them. Us greedy humans are trying to experiment because the army's evil. Get it? Get it? We're shoving it down your throat. The army is evil. So they're experimenting on cream and cheese, but then Sonic rushes in just in time and saves her. And then they get some help from Tails. How Tails knew they were in there? We have no idea. So anyways, basically Tails basically rescues them, and Chris Thorndyke whines a bit. If you watch the show, just get used to this kid because he whines 24/7. But anyways, that's the end of the episode, and then we transfer to episode 3 where we introduce Knuckles and Amy walking around in the sewers, and then we turns out that Eggman is here, and so he wants to. Wait a minute, how in the world does he make robots again? In season 1, basically all he does is just send robots and attacks the city. But how does he make these things if he has no money? I mean, that's actually a pretty good question. Sonic X, how does he get all these robots in that world? Does he have to chop down wood and get parts? It just makes no sense. How does he have all this? So, anyways, he sends the robot to attack, but then basically Sonic and all of them, blah blah blah, they defeat the robot, and then Knuckles is the extreme tough guy, so he lets go. Get it? He's tough, he's all the way tough. So basically I don't remember a lot from season 1, except for it was basically just the same thing over and over again. It had a very simple formula. Eggman sent a robot, Sonic and his friends stopped it, he got mad, went away, then sent it another robot. And if you guys are wondering how is it any different, well guess what? We get to spend time with the humans in different locations. Yeah, because if you're watching the show called Sonic X, screw Sonic and his friends, they're just sidelines. You know, this is surprisingly reminding me a lot of the Transformers movies, where we come to see Transformers fighting each other, but then we spend another 20 minutes hooking up to the human characters that we do not care about and are very annoying. I'm not saying that human characters are a bad idea. I'm just saying have good ones. And there aren't really a lot of good ones here. I mean, there's tolerable ones like Mr. Stewart and maybe Chuck, but other than that, no one here is really that great. They're just all stereotypical and dumb. I know I've been talking about this for the past 9 minutes, but I mean, come on. Just why would you put humans inside of a Sonic show and make them the main focus, especially when the Sonic characters are very awesome? So basically, season 1 ends with Sonic and his friends finding, well, Eggman finding all of the Chaos Symbols, but then Chris breaks in, whines a bit, and then they go into the sea. Sonic gets the Chaos Symbols, transforms into Super Sonic, kicks the crap out of Eggman, and guess what? He somehow brings parts of Mobius into the real world? Okay then. That makes absolutely no sense, but alright, I guess we need to set up season 2 somehow. So now everyone's happy. Knuckles is guarding the Master Emerald now, and basically that. But guess this. I am not exaggerating. I am dead on plain serious. Are you ready for this? Hold on, if you have not seen the show, sit down. You need to hear me clearly. Are you ready? Season 2 is Sonic Adventure. I'm not joking. So literally, instead of just setting up just off the bat, episode 1 literally opens up with Froggy getting chaos inside of him, and basically season 1 is just Sonic Adventure. And so I don't have much to say about it. If you've seen Sonic Adventure, then you know what happens. So it takes all the tension and creativity out the show. And I have one thing to ask the creators of the show. Would I rather watch Sonic X with annoying human characters taking up most of the screen time and Chris Thorndyke, for Christ's sakes, and very awkward moments, or would I rather just play the games? Anyway, so after season 1, they literally take one episode and then instantly Adventure 2 begins right after. I mean, yeah, you are a TV show, Sonic X. You can take time and actually do something with the adventure games. Maybe add in more moments, maybe add in more. Nope, they just do exactly what the adventure games did. No extra scenes, nothing. Just do exactly what they did, because that's how uncreative we are. I know some people may argue saying, but Sonic fan, they just wanted to appeal to the people who had the adventure games, maybe make it more special. That's one theory, but I have another theory. Maybe, just maybe, they could trick the people who've never played these games into thinking that this is the show creating all of this happening, and then people say, oh hey, that's actually pretty cool, Chaos is a pretty cool villain and this storyline's pretty cool, so that would boost the show's ratings. Have you ever thought of that? I didn't think so. And of course, since this is following Adventure 2, it turns out Eggman has a grandfather, but that makes no sense because this Eggman is in another dimension, so they try to explain it by saying that he was really born here, but if that's so, then how in the world did he go into another dimension? Did someone cause chaos control around him? Did he just go into another dimension? Like, how does he have no memory of this? So basically, Adventure 2 is just the same thing, except that we got whiny Thorndyke over here just butting in, and he's the one who convinces Shadow and all that instead of Amy Rose. Why? Because he's Chris Thorndyke. We gotta have something for this useless brat to do. So then, basically, everything. I can't talk about season 2. You wanna know why? Because it is the adventure game, so there's nothing good to come out of this. Wait, maybe there is. You wanna know why? They can make Sonic 06 into Sonic X. Think about it. That would be hilarious. Come on, dude. That would have been great. All you had to do was just have an episode and just do this. That's all you had to do. How simple was that? Alright, whatever. So after the adventure series ends, obviously they had to come up with some original episodes, and we see why they want to drag out the adventure series for as long as possible, because once after that, all the episodes become so dull. We get Team Chaotix basically trying to sneak into Sonic's house. Why? I have no idea, to be honest. They just try to sneak in and talk to Sonic. I honestly didn't. This is so dumb. So then after that show where they introduced Team Chaotix, and as I said, they act exactly like they do in the video games. They get all the characters right, but then just chose it all away with the very awkward moments in this, and just outright annoying human characters. So after that, then we get basically the dumbest part of season 2 by far, easily the dumbest series of episodes. So basically what happens is that after Eggman goes to jail, he transforms all these robots or whatever to attack the city. Meanwhile, Chris Thorndyke is sick and his rich parents comes over to visit him.
Don't you think you're overreacting? It's just a common cold. Everyone gets them.
Yes, I know, but when I heard, I just couldn't keep my mind on my work.
Same here.
Nelson! You're impossible!
Jesus.
Don't you see? What kind of example are you giving your son, abandoning your workplace just because of a harmless little cold?
But Dad, I just wanted
Don't you butt dad me, Mr. Big Shot Goof-Off. How irresponsible can you get?
Now listen here, Dad. If I want to take a day off to visit my son when he's got a disease, it's nobody's business but mine.
If I were you, I couldn't afford to take time off. Not when every product you make rolls off the assembly line straight into the junk shop.
I'll have you know the real reason behind those bad appliances is your friend Sonic.
How dare you put the blame on Sonic? Can't you even take responsibility for your own income?
Oh my god, are they seriously this desperate to draw attention in this show? My god, that was hilariously out of nowhere. So, anyway, so Sonic and Knuckles beat the little things, and now Eggman is free. And so now, this is where this just gets plain easily annoying. So, Eggman apparently announces how he's going to switch to the good side and all that. So then he builds after he destroyed half the moon in the adventure series, he builds a robotic half of the moon. How did he do this? No one knows, just robotics is a genius. Seriously, how did he get enough resources to do this? I know he's a genius. If he had resources to get all of this from, I would get it. But he literally is broken on the run and is wanted. How does he get all of these parts to do all of this? So, he builds half of the Earth on the moon, I guess, and so now apparently on the New Year's episode it comes over the sun. So basically Sonic and his friends are thinking, I'm stuttering right now because of how stupid these parts of the episodes is. So apparently Eggman says that the moon, something happened in space which has the moon stuck over the sun. So he starts selling sunshine balls, where apparently they're just like real sunshine. So apparently everybody starts believing he's a saint and is getting these sunshine balls, and apparently they're supposed to be just like sunshine, except that when if it's just like sunshine, shouldn't their skin be burning? Shouldn't they be becoming blind by looking at it? No one knows. So he sells these sunshine balls and everyone thinks he's so cool, and so freaking Eggman is like, I'm the hero now, and so Sonic gets a weird feeling about all this and starts destroying towers, and so now people are like, oh, Sonic is the bad guy. Oh yeah, he's the bad guy. Yep, the person who saved you from the entire world ending, the person who keeps locking away criminals and helping people out, the one who fights for you is the bad guy because he's destroying an evil guy's towers from selling you sunshine balls. What's wrong with that? So now they think Sonic is the bad guy, and so basically that's the gist of the episode. Yep, cause who wouldn't trust a face like that tried to blow up half the moon and the world and sent a giant chaos monster after you? Nah, he's on the good side, I'm pretty sure. Jeez, fourth wall break much? So anyways, after that, they send Knuckles to try to stop him. So instead of Knuckles knowing Sonic his whole life trying to reason with him and asking what he's doing, he just outright tries to attack him. Because you wanna know why? That's why. And so then, we get the dumbest moment in the season. It turns out that the reason Sonic had an odd feeling of this happening is because he figured out that if the egg moon is stuck and cannot move, the sun rotates around the earth, so therefore the sun should be still rotating, just the egg moon should be standing still. How in the world did no one on the entire earth figure that out? I mean, that may have tricked the viewer if he was probably like 9, but Station Square, the president, no one questioned why, how, not even NASA? How in the world did no one figure this out? That's so incredibly the stupidest thing. The only person who figured it out was Sonic, and he's new to all of this. See, not even Tails figured this out, and Tails is supposed to be the genius. My god, this is so stupid. So, not a surprise, they defeat Eggman, blah blah blah, and so then we actually get what seems like a relief this episode. So it turns out that now that the characters are in the new world, it turns out that if they stay in the new world, then the time that they were in Mobius and the time that they were in the Earth, apparently they were once all together, but since they split up into two different worlds, now that they're intertwining with each other again, time is connecting, and then they were going to cancel each other out and stand still. So if the Sonic characters stay inside, the time is going to stop itself, so they have to go back to their home world. Yay! So basically everyone's upset about this, and so it's kind of a little emotional seeing all these characters. Like, I'm gotta give it the credit, this is kind of a little emotional seeing the characters like disappear. I mean, all the humans were good except for Chris Thorndyke and a select few, but other than that, seeing characters like Chuck and the butlers say bye, it's kind of a little sad. So now Sonic is about to leave, but then Chris pulls the plug, so basically, he doesn't care what happens to the world or what happens to anyone, as long as him and Sonic. Oh my god, this is reminding me of 06. If you're reminding me of Sonic 06, 6, then you know you're doing something bad. So eventually, happy ending. It turns out that all Chris wanted was to not be alone again. So his parents confronted him, and now Chris is reunited with his parents, and they're going to spend more time with him. And now Sonic and his couples are back in their home world. There we go. Done. Okay, it was annoying, but hey, it was decent. You know, it was very decent. I'm glad that the series concluded. Are you kidding me? Okay, so you know what? I'm actually pretty excited for season 3. You wanna know why? They're gonna be in their home world, and yeah, hey, at least we got no humans, right? Oh, okay, well, you know, at least he's not whiny this time, right? Okay, well, you know what? Even though Chris Weindyke is there, at least they're in their home world. Oh my God! Why can't this season do anything right? So, you know, I went back and rewatched season 1 and season 2 for the purpose of this review. You're welcome. So, honestly, you might be wondering, why didn't I go back and watch season 3? You wanna know why? Because this was the worst TV show season I've ever seen in my entire life. Not joking. This perhaps was one of the most boring things I've ever seen in my entire life. Very boring. So let's go ahead and just get into season 3. Why don't we? So it starts out pretty cool. Like the first episode is pretty fun. It's just basically the characters being themselves. Probably the best episode in the series. You wanna know why? Because it's just the characters being in their home world with each other. No humans around. No awkward moments. You know, there's a few. Just the characters themselves in their awesome world. Boom. That's what we want. That's what we want. Why can't we just focus on this? Why can't we just have Eggman come up with some awesome plot and the characters try to thwart him? Nah, we gotta add in all this complex space bull garbage in here. So then Sonic comes back, but then we get introduced to a character called Cosmo. We're supposed to feel emotionally attached to her, but she honestly doesn't do anything except for just be wise. I mean, she has no personality. I mean, she has a little personality if you count her crying and smiling all the time, but that's pretty much it. So then the show slaps us in the face, and now they're in space for the rest of the season. Yep, that's right. Sonic and his friends in space. Why would you keep the fastest thing alive stuck in space? Why would you do that? So we get introduced to these things called let's call them what's a good name for such unoriginal garbage? The bad guys. You know, I'm just gonna call them the bad guys. Wanna know why? Because they don't even deserve a name because of how stupid they are. So let's go ahead and just sit down and explain this very good old season. So basically what happens in the season is that they go to different planets destroying all these bad guys, and that's what it is. They just go to different planets and destroy bad guys, except that the show slaps us in the face, and basically not slaps us in the face in a bad way, but slaps us in the face in a good way, because they resurrect Shadow. Yes, that's great, but you wanna know what else they did? They did the same thing the games did and erased his memory, so now he has no memory of who he is and where they're going. Dang, okay, listen. Sega made a mistake. Everybody hated that Shadow lost his memory in Sonic Heroes. So maybe you could have fixed that mistake because you are a TV show and have him remain his memory. Nah, he doesn't know who he is and he fights the game, just like in Sonic Heroes. Yep. So basically what happens next is just basically they just go through space and defeat bad guys until the final episode, where it's so intense, whether in such a battle against the not the Metacon, sorry, Xenoblade. I never played the game. People talk about it. The bad guys. So they fight the bad guys, and then eventually, Cosmo sacrifices. No, not never mind. Cosmo and Shadow sacrifices themselves. Yep. Why they brought back a character mid-season just to kill him off in the end? What kind of show brings back a character just to kill him off instant? Okay, good point. So, anyways, that's basically it. They don't bring up how Shadow sacrificed himself in such a heroic way. They just talk about Cosmo. And another thing I also forgot to mention was that this season tries way too hard to be dark. I mean, I know a lot of Sonic games are guilty of this, but this season tries way too hard to be incredibly dark. Basically, all it is just darkness. Like, the characters are so emotional, and they even have an episode of Tails being brutally beaten by Shadow because Shadow is trying to kill Cosmo. Why would you have that in a Sonic game? I mean, not a Sonic game, something related to Sonic the Hedgehog. This is for little kids. Why in the world would you have all this dark, complex, it's just, you get what I mean if you ever dare to watch this season, but I mean, the entire season just tries its best to just be as dark as possible and just give you an uncomfortable feeling. So then, now let's just go ahead and get to the ending. Basically, it ends off with, the characters being on the road. No one mentions Shadow except for Eggman and Rouge, and so yeah. So then they talk about Cosmo a little bit more, and then it turns out that Eggman has to wait for Chris to return back to his home. Why did he go through all this trouble to get back to them? So that he can just run right back home, of course, why not? So he goes into the portal and teleports home, except that Eggman says that it might change his age, so they don't know how old or how young Chris would be when he teleports. So for some reason, why did the show add that in there? Just have him being teleported. Why in the world would they just leave off on a stupid cliffhanger saying he could be too old, he could be too young, he could be a baby, he could be any age when he teleports? You would never know, and I could never care because that character was the main thing wrong about the show. So yeah, that was Sonic X. Okay, let's get into it. Okay, so Season 1, I would give a 4 out of 5. I know I ranted a little bit about Season 1, but honestly, it was if Sonic X was Season 1, then I would have been pretty fine with it. It had a simple to follow formula. All the Sonic characters acted just like themselves. Heck, even Chris wasn't really that annoying in the season. So the season was pretty fun. It had all original episodes. It was pretty alright. If that was it, then I would have loved this show. But then we get Season 2, which I give a 2 out of 5 for being so unoriginal. They just rip off the adventure games, and then after that, they just basically have very dumb episodes until the final episode, where they finally get out of there. Then we have Season 2, which I give a 1 out of 5. Heck, I would have given it a 0, but that would go against my ranking system. So I give it a 1 out of 5, but consider this the closest to a 0 as I can possibly give it. That's what I give this season. It was completely boring all the way through, even annoying. So yeah, that was Sonic X. Had amazing potential, and it could have been easily one of the best TV shows I ever watched had they not included all these human plot points and just had the characters being themselves. Just tried way too much. So yeah, that was my Sonic X review. So that's what I gave it. So if you are a fan of over-the-top animes, or if you are a fan of Sonic very, very, very hard, then I recommend the show for you. But if you are not as hard of a Sonic fan, or you like actual smart animes, then this show is not for you. But yeah, that's basically what I give Sonic X, and as a whole, I would have to give it a 3 out of 5. Okay, Season 1, pretty good. Season 2, unoriginal and boring, and Season 3, just outright garbage. So yeah, that was my Sonic X review. What do you guys think about it? Post it in the comments. Hope you guys have enjoyed, and I'm gonna have a hard time editing this video. Peace.